Pressure mo ting ay ko akain na. Igot hira le kung ni kung tung kisim long le ma pamlo di ya so right approach ay lo le right step la tin na ting ay experience le alo ting Ma'am Teresa to sa muin eke ho tiuhan mang tele no na do nung na hipat tipihan lang ele no wadi apa di hang ti tu ni plan o di in okay by the way tunin hat kipat na dingin som cha le kyo man cha di din pati ne nga taw na hin ne din brother go ma kan to we Okay, thank you brother Lumang. Tu ahi presentation pak di tingin mata. So, mas apa pera tu? Sir samuto, ma'am nungi presentation means kilpi inaga anaiding felicitate. Niyo taka boleh kitihin. Sir samuhi speaker on the way hisihin. Kay bawa ka tu ira mani English o medium na medium ni. So, anda cembi nantun, ma'am Teresa pun VIP na niyo, tiwa pun VIP na to, Pak Zakat ka. Yote ma'am please come over here. Pun VIP hindi pilihan yang.
I hope it's my size.
Kung kalotang.
Very nice. Okay.
Still. Yeah. Ada Pak Zakat na nag-apito.
Alright. I look funny. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Sal samu yang luting le ama pat ngin dia. Ina sai pamowin tun pat di bom to omin na. Ma'am Teresa in apa dah hingga lapai di hitai ni hingga tak ada ngayo tin amana encai tin le sal samu na hingga lakit tin. Cuban tak ada iman. Itu onong mau personal lagi mu binu mau wel open na indo onong mau pat ng tihong di hina. Itun lagi mau poitin. So I request Ma'am Teresa take your time. Ma'am, it's your time.
My time.
Yes.
I feel like teaching grammar rules. Maybe perhaps I should start from nouns or maybe articles, right? Anyhow, yes, the topic seems to be, where is the topic? Yeah, the preparation for Manipur civil services, right? But I think you can ask me any question, right? Because I don't want to sound very over smart, because I'm a veteran in the preparation of civil services, a veteran who has faced many failures and some success in between. So, you guys are very lucky because the Manipur civil services syllabus is now aligned perfectly with the UPSC syllabus. During our time, that means we had to prepare separately for both the examination. So I feel like there's a regret in my mind that had I focused solely on UPSC syllabus, perhaps that would have been more better. That was I thought. But now you guys are lucky, as I said, you don't have to think about such things. Also in MPSC syllabus, as you know, there is no optional. And optional are always a problem for civil service aspirant because some year you may do well or the scoring could be lenient. And some year, even though you may do well, the scoring may not be so lenient, right? So from this year onward, MPSC is all about, I believe, equality question. The type of questions you'll answer would be the same for every aspirant. So that is a big welcome change. So I would, through this platform, encourage MPSC to continue the good work that they're doing for the aspirant of the state, right? We should give credit where it is due. It is our state after all, right? So if you have any question on how to prepare, or if you want to know how I started my journey, I would be happy to answer your questions. What do you think? Wade, what do you want to know? Start from the beginning. Or maybe I can see many of our students here at Gunju, but some from library, right? So you may not know me, so I'll introduce myself. My name, as you know, is Teresa Tangpua. I belong to Jurjanpur. I'm from Paite tribe, and I am an engineer, an electronics engineer from Mumbai University. I finished with the first class. Yes, it was a tough course, so I take pride in it. And I also have finished a master in sociology. I have completed a big data engineering course from NILIT also. My work experience includes working with the High Court of Manipur, then a little bit under the government of Manipur, and I've also done research on genome sequencing, DNA. And if it is about civil services, I was lucky enough, privileged enough to write the UPSC mains twice, and MPSC mains, I suppose, with the re-exam thrice. So those are my experiences. And in my life, every interview that I have been privileged to have been a part of, I have always come out with, at least in the merit list, in interview, right? So personality development, how you think, how you walk, how you are, that is something that cannot be learned overnight. If you plan to be a civil service aspirant, surround yourself with people who have the similar thinking, similar type of goal as you know. You also cannot grow with people who has different ambitions. For example, it's very difficult, right? I like the term coterie in English. There's a term, C-O-T-E-R-I-E, right? Coterie means a group of people you always like to keep with, like in a church, your friends, or at the class, your friends, right? So similarly, if the first thing you should start is, if you are preparing for civil services, try to surround yourself with people with similar interest as you. That should be the first step. Any other? Yes? Well, I started my preparation after I finished my college. I went to Delhi, ALS Coaching Institute, you might have heard of, right? But I was very stingy. Stingy in the sense I did not attend any full foundation course or anything. I clearly remember I started my journey in the year 2012. My batch started from 1st January itself. I was only in the prelims batch. I never joined any full course or anything. I never wanted to give money that way, though my parents were very supportive. So after finishing the prelims course, which went on till a week before the prelims, of course I didn't make it that year. The next year, 2013 and 14, I immediately cleared my prelims. That was how it was. And initially, in the beginning, when you start out your journey, you will have to give lots of efforts. Okay. The first 2-3 years of me preparing for the civil services was me cooped up in my room. And I like it. And I like it in the sense, from my childhood, I've never been the one running around here and there. And I like doing things in my own way. So being cooped up in a room didn't sound so bad. It was fun. It was fun, actually. So maybe I studied like, the only time I did not study would have to be when I am eating, buying something, washing clothes, or doing other personal things. So the first, I would say, 2 years, because I gave the mains repeatedly after that. 2013 a mains get no, 14 a mains ni get MPSC alemo. So 15 SSC congregate. No, 16, then again another mains, right? So it was all about studying, studying, and studying. So you can imagine the number of hours. I had no time for any other thing. It was such a busy time for me, right? And as I was giving mains for both UPSC and mains, I had to study 3 optional. Sociology, public administration, and education. 3 optional, imagine. Now you don't have a single optional. How lucky you all are, right? Very lucky, right? You have seen us studying 3 optional, that too in the same year, because ours was writing mains back to back. Okay? And I still remember in 2014, I had only 1 week to prepare for UPSC prelims after my mains. Only 1 week. And yet I cleared my prelims. So it was because my foundation had already been built. Okay, initially when you start out, I would not encourage you to depend on YouTube. YouTube is for people like me who has already built foundation. YouTube is not for you. You have started, right? You are now going to start, right? Now the sad thing is, if you have already been preparing for the civil services, fine. But now MPSC, if you're going to prepare, the prelims is in April, right? So now it's December. It's high time to start preparing. In fact, I think there won't be any time to read your NCERT, right? Because I studied NCERT from 6 to 12, I did that. In fact, I couldn't find the book, so some of the book my parents had to ship from Imphal to Delhi. Still remember. And some books I bought in Delhi itself at that time. So you wouldn't have time to read NCERT, so you'll have to jump right to standard books, right? If you feel like you need coaching, please go. But it is a very short time to even be going for coaching. Maybe some standard books, right? And keep up with current affairs, Hindu newspaper, Indian Express, and the Economic Times. Those used to be the 3 newspapers I used to take. I used to read a lot. And I enjoy it also, that's the thing. But it all depends upon you. Any question, please?
May you please elaborate the different means about the prelims and mains? Actually, to be very honest, personally I'm blank. So.
Well, I don't have a board, so if I have a board, that would be so nice, right? The thing is, prelims is obviously, it is objective, right? MCQ, multiple choice question. Mains is written, right? And whatever subject is there in the prelims, in the mains, it has only been expanded. Okay, expanded in the writing format. Your GS 1, 2, 3, 4 are nothing but that is all there in the prelims, except the ethics paper. And I feel very lucky because when I went for UPSC coaching, right, I took coaching under the new syllabus, not the old syllabus of UPSC. So the new syllabus is what is adopted by MPSC now. So I was way ahead of my time. And truth be told, I absolutely did not enjoy writing mains because it was based on the old syllabus of MPSC. It was a little outdated. So I think it would be fun writing the exam from this time. It's keeping up with the time, no? Yes, as I said, one is MCQ, one is writing. So your writing skill also you need to develop. So that would require what? Writing. How is your writing? I wouldn't know. Only you would know. That's something you should ask yourself, right? And I feel like if you can write in 100 words, any 100 words I'm saying, 100 words maybe 2 paragraphs. If you can write whatever you know in 100 words, any topic, small or big, I think you have understood. Yes, quite very serious. It isn't that scary. Yes, that's why I said keep up with your friends because you need to keep the spirits up. In fact, I remember I had a group of friends and I used to be the only girl because I would encourage girls to give the civil services. Even while I was sitting here at the library, I think I was the only girl. So some would say that this girl is always hanging out with the boys. I don't see any other girl who is giving the exam as me or I, right? I don't see it. Even when I was in Delhi also, right? So I would encourage the girls to prepare for such exams. And at the time when I was in Delhi, I had a group, a coterie. My coterie involved mostly boys. Okay, though boys means most of them were the children of my mother's colleagues. And all of them, one of them had become Indian Foreign Service, IFS. Another one, whom I consider my younger brother, Albert, IRS, is now posted in Imphal. Then another already MCS, ADC. So most of my friends, I was the last one to clear because I am a slow learner, though I work really hard. But the unfortunate happened with 2016 and we had to write the exam again. But as you grow older, the thing with youth that you have now, the thing with youth is that most of the financial responsibility, other familial responsibility is shouldered by your family now. So if that responsibility is shouldered by your family, this is the time when you can really concentrate on studying. That's the beauty of it. Okay. Now as we grow older, we cannot shirk our responsibility, right? So that becomes two things. Our mind goes, now my mind goes two things, towards family and towards studies. So civil services requires one track. You have to sacrifice lots of things. Sacrifice going out with others. And even if you do go out, you have to take your newspapers with you. I did that. I was hated a lot for it. But it was also to show that when I say I'm busy, look, I'm carrying my work here. Huh? Because if you missed a day's newspaper, catching up is very difficult. Okay? You cannot recoup again. The news, next, right? So it should be regular. I would enjoy your question if you would. I think sir is there.
Ma'am, as per my understanding, 99% of them are fresh. They will they don't know where to ask, where to start. I mean, they will be happy if you at least talk to them like a kids, na? Means where to start, which part to read, which part.
Well,
yeah.
Where to start is download the syllabus. Check it. That I cannot do it for you, right? You know the syllabus, right? Should we define syllabus? It's a syllabus, right? You have to check the syllabus. In the syllabus, obviously, you have what? What do you have in the syllabus? Did you check the syllabus? Yes. Sad, tell me the syllabus. Prelims up. There would be obviously polity, there would be obviously economy, geography, history, art and culture, science and tech, environment, what else? And geography, world geography a little bit, then international relations, current affairs, any other? In fact, if it is Manipur, there would be Manipur-related current affairs, Manipur-related history, Manipur-related geography. That too you should know, whether it's in the syllabus or not. You are inside Manipur. Where else then can anyone ask Manipur history, but in their own state civil services, right? So that is the extra thing you have to work for, Manipur. And because you are a citizen of Manipur, that is your responsibility to know. Right? It can come up in interview, it can come up in mails, it can come up anywhere, right? So when you prepare for the civil services, if you are very serious, I would like you to integrate your preparation, not just for prelims, but for mains also. Because clearing the prelims and not clearing the mains hurts like hell, okay? And there is very little time between prelims and mains. So you wouldn't be able to prepare properly. So whatever you study, the topic in prelims or current affairs, you have to write it into 100 or 150 words, every topic. That will be the base for you to prepare for mains. Otherwise, you will not have any material for mains. On writing. Right? You would be like, this is mains, I can't study like prelims. Right? And after clearing the prelims, you will not have anything. Right? And standard books, I can have a board, right? I feel like writing on the board. Standard books quality, people are referring what? Lakshmikant. What are you referring? Lakshmikant. I did not start with Lakshmikant. I started with Didi Basu and Yes, I am Shubhas Kashyap, our parliament. I started with that. In fact, there is a 3 series. So I started with the difficult ones, polity. So if I bought Lakshmikant only this year. Imagine it. Because there's so much hype, I just want to check it. But my style of preparing polity is very old school. I read Didi Basu and Shubhas Kashyap. I find that more explanatory. Then what about the history? You know NCRT, read NCRT. Read NCRT 6 to 12. If you don't have time, 6 to 8. If you feel like 6 to 8 is too kiddish, at least 9, 10. Or if your English is good, jump to 11 and 12. Alright? So all the base of the subject would be given. Okay? After studying NCRT, you can pick up any standard book. Otherwise, you will be lost, I'm telling you. Okay? So polity, M. Lakshmikant, you can follow. My reference book is not in Lakshmikant. Okay? Then second, economy. Economy, I'm self-taught because I have all Ramesh Singh, Sri Ram, I have all the notes, but I did not study from them. I relied a lot on newspapers, current affairs, and every topic I needed to know, I would just find online and update my notes. Alright, so economy is my own source, but I heard that Sri Ram economy is good. I heard, right? YouTubers are raving about it. I have it, but I don't refer. I have all the books. So economy, you can refer Sri Ram since you are starting out. Then maybe for history, as I said, please go to NCRT. Okay, go to NCRT history. All right. Art and culture also NCRT. Yes, people are talking about art and culture, Nitin Singhania. But have you seen the book? How thick it is? How much? How much thick? Will you be able to revise them before prelims? If you can't revise, it's as good as you haven't read. What's the point? My strategy is choose a simple resource and multiple revision. Okay, go to NCRT, class 11, Introduction to Indian Art. If you can't do that, maybe Nitin Singhania, the old one. I refer the old one. The old one is slim, sleek, and smart. The old one, if you can find. But if you can't, you will have to use the new one, the thick one, right? And if you check science and technology, most of them are current affairs, right? It's covered by current affairs. Environment, again current affairs, right? There is no standard book. There are Shankars, environment, other, but I didn't refer to them. Go to current affairs. They've asked only current affairs, right? Any other question?
Ma'am, any difference in the nature of the questions between the APSC and UPSC for prelims?
That would be premature because this is a new syllabus. New syllabus means this will be the first time they'll be setting questions under the new syllabus. So please prepare on the same line as UPSC because the old times have elapsed. New era has started. The new era follows UPSC, so UPSC would be your guide. The past questions, right?
And how to prepare for the Manipur specific topics, history, geography?
Well, there is a book by Professor Gangume Kami, right? There is a book. And also, during my time, I was the one thing I did in my time was test. There isn't a single coaching institute outside or in Manipur that I have not given test. My Sundays was filled with test. Okay, sometimes I feel like God might have forgotten my face, but Sunday used to be the day when they took test, right? So for Manipur history, I used to join a part. I wouldn't name the coaching institute because I would be like advertising the coaching institute. I used to join the test series of a particular coaching institute, and I used to just focus on the Manipur history part. That was my strategy. History. Okay, test questions. Any other?
Please tell us more about the advantage of optional paper and the removal of.
I think I mentioned that Koirene. The advantage is everyone would be on the same level, same questions, answers will be different, right? Same question. Every students will have same questions. Optional means different subjects. Different subjects means different questions, right? So everyone would be now on the same level. Studies also here. You can ask him also. Yeah. Any other?
We also have one more question.
Please?
Will it be enough to prepare for, from only past questions?
No. A straightforward no. Like you mean to say you will only know the answer of the past year question, or what is it? I don't understand. If you think like that, then it is not enough. Perhaps it would be enough to clear prelims, but definitely not for mains, and that would be a wastage of time.
Not exactly the same question, but looking at the pattern.
Yes, then looking, if you talk about pattern, that is more broader. Yes, UPSC past year question. Yes, pattern. Any other? Do you have any question? They are all. Ma'am? I'm the one.
Since there's an overlapping between UPSC and MPSC syllabus, so I wanted to ask specifically for Manipur-based current affairs, like schemes and all, from where do we refer? Like,
Shanghai Express, Imphal Free Press, everything that comes up in the news become current affairs. For example, the ADC bill and all are in the news, right? Any other? Even our present Chief Minister happens to be very proactive. He talks about Chief Minister Sothara Basinggi Tingbang, Chief Minister Haksilgi Tingbang, right? He talks about go to village, go to school Phagadhansi mission, right? These are always highlighted. The government is big in highlighting its schemes in newspapers. They don't hide it. It's very visible. Until and unless we are not reading newspapers, then you will miss it.
Ma'am, the thing is, in newspaper, it tends to get very political and biased, so like sometimes it's hard to find those news.
So if you can make a decision saying that a certain newspaper is political and biased, I think I would assume you are wise enough to know which are the important things to take, right? For example, if it is about go to village mission, the first thing is which ministry is responsible. It is not a single ministry, it's everyone, all the departments, line departments, field departments, right? Second, what is it for? That's the answer. You don't have to say the scheme is good or bad. You just have to know what is the scheme about, who are the parties involved, what's it about, is it only in the valley, is it only in the hill? That is our job as civil service aspirant. We are not there to judge or give our personal opinion. We have to state as it is. And also please remember, preparing for the civil services is not just for pomp and show. Okay? You have to be pro-poor, you have to be pro-minorities, you have to be pro-women, you have to be pro-everything good in the society, pro-development, in fact, pro-government also. You are fine. Who is going to be your employer? The government. And if I were an employer, would I want to employ someone who talks bad and negative about me? Huh? Think about that. Pro-government. That is why I said we should give credit where it is due. And there is such a thing as constructive criticism. Like for example, if you don't like something about go to village mission, you can give a suggestion, right? And that suggestion should help the scheme, should help the government do better, because that's what you are preparing for, right? Not to destabilize the government, to help the government, right? So your suggestion should be towards that. Any other? Yes.
Like with the nature of the question, when I come across like MCQ of the previous year, I can see that MPSC is more of one-liner oriented. So what will be the upcoming approach?
I think it will be a mix of the old and the new. Okay. For example, the best fail-proof strategy is prepare on the same line as UPSC, except you have to focus a little bit on Manipur level questions. Also, if you checked old MPSC prelims questions, they are very simple. They're very simple, I would say. So I would suggest you not to go for those. Don't be fooled by those simple questions because times have changed. You need to up your level. Those were the times, the questions were the times when online resources were not available. WhatsApp ho EP ho ahung popular to sort nailong maybe 2013-14, right? So now with the overload of materials, I don't think the question will be that simple. Yes, and don't neglect CSAT. Don't neglect CSAT, alright? Because that is useful for mains also. Mains, Anna? Yes. Any other question?
And then, like with regards to Manipur history,
Yes.
when you come to source, we have many sources. So, what are your preferences?
I keep my source simple. What I did was, like I said, I attend all the coaching institute, the test series. However, for this year, I didn't have the time nor the day. I did not attend a single test series. I did not attend any other extra thing for this year. I just went and wrote. In fact, truth to be told, the studies that I did and the questions that were asked in the exam were not proportional this year. So I was not very happy about it. But I was like, okay, fine. Writing skill to have, so I might make it. That was the thing. And I was not very happy with the optional, the way it was asked also, because I felt like the standard was very low. But I sensed that MPSC had no choice. They wanted to do away with our batch as fast as they could because they wanted to roll out new, because times have changed. We cannot keep on giving space for the old ones, right? You people are waiting, right? They need fresh blood, not the old blood. So I understood that. So it was all a matter of a little bit of luck and all. So that's what I would say. And yes, for Manipur history, I would suggest you to attend a series of various coaching centers and focus on the ones which is good in Manipur history. As I said, I have not been taking tests for quite some time, so I wouldn't be able to give you correct succession. But during my time, that is what I did. I attended 2 famous coaching institutes. Only the test, 100 rupees per test I paid. I still clearly remember. And I had gone just to collect questions on Manipur history. I mean, you should have a strategy, right? Because the thing is, I don't like to be a collector of books. Yes, I have lots of books, but I like to keep my sources simple and plenty of revision. I don't like to post photos with lots of books. I do have, though I don't like. Huh? What? Any other question? Yes, my dear. Keep your sources simple. That was the mistake I did. I had a printout of the recommended book list. I bought everything. It's still there at home, untouched. I bought everything. It's not required also. It's not required. Okay, just keep your resources simple, right? So if you need the books and all resources that we need to refer, Amsul Shari is also here. You can give more suggestion. So yeah, I think my session can be terminated. Exterminated, no, terminated. Yes? Do you have any question? You're smiling. I think you have a question. Ask me a question. I'm ready. Okay. Right? Also, yes, preparing for the civil services requires extreme dedication and self-discipline. It is not an exam that you can combine with any other exam. Maybe with SSC, yes, it aligns, right? But if you are good at maths, that's it. As I told you, I have an electronics engineering background, so maths was not a problem for me. I used to just give the exam and come back without preparation. Already English is a bit strong, so I could do that. But if you are preparing for the civil services, don't think you would crack banking exam by preparing civil service. There is no backup job. There is no backup. But if you are preparing for SSC, perhaps you can get a banking job. Perhaps if you are preparing for banking, you can get an SSC or any other job, right? Civil services, it is not like that. It is a sacrifice. Either you make it or you end up being a veteran without achieving anything. So that is a real risk. So you weigh your risks, right? But if you play it right, it can be very fulfilling. Because if you are thinking, I want to be a civil servant, I want to be an officer, I want to have lots of money, it is not like that. Some people do that. But we join civil services to contribute to the society. That is how I feel. That is how I truly feel. I want to do something for the society. Because what is life without giving back, right? In the Bible, it is also said, no? If you're good at speaking, use that for the glory of God. If you have a skill, use it, right? So I felt like my personality was aligned to the civil service. I happen to be very straight also. I cannot tolerate any other thing. So this is the line for me, and I've chosen, and I'm proud of the career I have chosen. So that should be your strategy.
There is a compulsory English paper in Manipur.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
We don't have, the Nordic people don't have actually a compulsory English paper in UPSC. And how to specifically prepare for this English paper?
English is there, my dear, UPSC.
But it's not for Nordic people. We don't have.
English chuna English exam chuna UPSC azona.
Compulsory language paper we don't write.
Not the language, but the English we write. English is very much integral to civil service preparation.
As a qualifying paper.
Qualifying is no qualifying. Qualifying is hardly even 33% of the marks. If you can't score 33% in qualifying in English, then perhaps we could try Hindi or Devanagari. Huh? See, we are Northeast people. English should be our mainstay. Otherwise we'll have to learn Hindi. So make a choice, right? Make a choice. Please be broad-minded, right? If you feel like one area is a drawback for you, then try to get the minimum to pass there. But where your strength is, try to get the maximum. That's always our strategy. My strategy. Okay, do that. Don't worry about English. Simple. English is easy. There is a book, English is easy there. You can take a look at it. I'm sure Sir Thangoi would allow. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Earlier you said integrated approach. Can you tell us how to do that?
Integrated approach, no?
Which means?
Yes. See, just take a printout of the syllabus or write it down. Okay. In fact, I prefer writing with my hand because I happen to remember better my personal experience. I remember better when I write because when I write, I think, right? So what you can do is when you prepare for the prelims or especially current affairs, if you find a particular question, okay, try to find where that particular topic or question is fitting in the main syllabus, right? And write some summary, 100, 200, don't need to write a lot because if you write a lot, you are not going to remember. Don't go after someone who writes a lot. One topic, 2 pages more than enough, okay? Because later, even if you clear the prelims, you're going to need that, right? So, a current affairs topic, plus for example, recently, give me any topic. Supreme Court upheld the economically weaker section reservation, right? So far, reservation in India has been on 2 criteria, right? Social and educational. Now it is economic also because the Supreme Court said it. So if you are going to prepare a law on it, it is important from prelims point of view. At the same time, in the main syllabus, where is the area that political issues are mentioned? Is it paper 1? Is it paper 2? Paper 3? Right? So you accordingly will write paper 1. So that's how you will prepare. Keep it simple. Don't be a collector of books. Very dangerous.
So the material it will be same with prelim mains.
Yes, the only difference is that in the prelims, the question will be MCQ, so you will choose ABCD. In the exam, you will write with your own hand. So if you do like that, I feel it is integrated. Otherwise, you will be out of material for me after preparing for prelims, right? Think about that. Then in that time, you will clear the prelims and you'll be like, okay, I'll download all the current affairs. Trouble. Huh? What is that?
Earlier you also said that for environment, I mean there's a lot of material in the market.
Yeah.
So it is also fast, I think.
Yes.
but
So your my mainstay for environment has always been current affairs.
So for environment, we don't have to study basic things. We have to only rely on that.
There is no basic books for environment except maybe a little bit of geography. If you go for Shankar environment, those are coaching institute which have compiled notes, right? And those notes are based on zoology basic questions. If you are from zoology background, you would know, right? For definition of environment, definition of difference between biotic and abiotic, right? All of those. But if you need the basic, yes, definitely follow Shankar's or any book. I will not discriminate the book, okay? Follow any book. But don't make it in such a way, I'm very afraid that if I tell you to read a book, you will spend months with that book. No. If you can finish that book in like 2 days, 3 days, fine, read it. But if you cannot, then you will have to rely on current affairs. Right? Don't be stuck with a book for so long. If you see the syllabus, one subject below each other, different things. That's why I said NCRT, either you go for class 6 to 8, okay? Or either you go for 9 and 10 as a group, or you pick up 11 and 12, because the themes are repeated. 6 to 8 bonus in follow. Now, I hilo le 9 to 10 NCRT all subject na sim. I hilo le 11 and 12 NCRT na sim. Make a choice.
Yeah, then years subject like politics and history are very hard. So how many days do you suggest we spend on per subject?
I think it depends on one's learning ability. Yes, how's your pick-up speed? It differs. It differs with me. I'm sure it differs with you as well. It depends. When you, like I said, when I read NCRT, and mind you, I've read NCRT 6 to 12. When I read NCRT, at that time, I clearly knew which subject were my strength. I clearly knew which subject, which topic I was able to answer. A little bit of thinking, even if they could twist the question also, right? So when you form your base, your foundation, you decide which one is your strength. Wherever your strength is, try to score maximum. Wherever your weakness is, right? Our weakness will always be our weakness, until and unless you improve. But there is so little time to improve weakness here. April is our prelims, right? So in your weakness area, try to not lose too much marks. Minimum doable. And in your strength, maximum doable. Right? April is near, I think. April is here, but winter is here. So I think I have answered most of your questions. Sir is also here. I'm here at Gunshu only, so Sir is not here, so maybe perhaps we'll give some time to him.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you want to go Ma'am, you want to say time? My head like English got yes again. Let my game village out my hin. Adam Vale, Kumtalang Lelo, it in a lane that to enjoy by pity them to say they do it now. Yeah, to doing my song last month, they are meant to get you know, that Christmas would doom, no, 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 in a pot for a scan here, hang on a chicken making with that now. Christmas would environment, yeah, so. Có mặt hiện sinh đến chỉ có mình nằm luôn, đầu tiên để thấy em toa gì, sơ sơ mùi này hiện để kinh sơ sơ mùi introduction là việc làm nhà phải cả sẽ mà hi tu lực toa hi giang nông phai hi Syllabus Academy tias cũng khá là bổ hình, cho nên tên ông sĩ đến foundation là bổ hình just 2 years in lại mà boarding mấy 78 triệu na school khá là boarding 78 ticket cho phải à vậy overall student tu lawan na boarding me me so le aku tak tai kampung hi ai chong le hi Sorry, my syllabus 13 years dagong ke babo hitai ama hin PhD sharing an dei tham ke point ke ma ma simlo amu ko cha ching ching ma ka ko yin na de ole ka simna yan ti na PhD tham jo na ma ka ko na okay ha any topic pila chun pata ke cha ji te de sai te jing ding na hello le ti la za kha pat ko chu ka ti na he na da chu ke wa hin dai le chun what give that mo bong an na chính xác cái quầy thì em vào trong các sinh ra nhau cái em đi đến cái em còn chỉ cho vài qua sở sở mu sau khi hoàn ôn sử biểu tiền bạc ra biểu thì hiện vì viên lắm na là lại là hoàn sở sở mu cầu về tuần phụ làm việc biểu tiền nam cái pa biểu về ama trong tu trong lại em sẽ sang mua ra đến sở sở mu tiền ôn mình sử Amazon nilai faculty member yang le school kai lang cho aboi be se ja cho faculty cho anga chu lo e wanga chu nilai member la chu ko ya Amazon school lang cho ba ti ngai ta chu ni ki chu yang le password pi ke mo to lo ma result wa yang ko na pa ke cha ja lo ko na tunya ama ko ho mem dari satu pa tai lai am ko mo ke ka pa mo na separate felicitation ceremony man meeting kat in evang idea ka sel la man in tu ta ina de be se han boy or la ka mai bo do tan tin now I give time to sir samu nang chapang mai pi ta se pi no ngam ama chu se ya ko nai pi na to no ngam na ho jam na ya chu pa an te thank you
good morning. It's like homecoming for me because I'm part of this family. If I think some of you might have some experience with me while I was teaching you. If not, maybe you are all new vets. Okay, I was warned outside by some of you that I must talk in Koki language. Is it everyone is comfortable with Koki language? Yes. Okay, one of our brother is not comfortable, so we'll mix up. We'll give justice to our brother at the same time. We will also speak in Koki language sometimes. Okay, first of all, I would like to extend my sincere regards to Ma'am Teresa. She was all of us know that she is an icon of hard work. I have very high regards and respect. So we haven't talked personally. Maybe after this session, we will sit down and talk. So we will learn again. We will come to know more about what is up to us. Okay. Let's say 8 years ago, I was like you. In New Delhi, we were running after this kind of seminars, okay? So I was exactly like you all. So that guy who used to run after these seminars can come up on this stage today. If you believe in yourself, someday your turn will come, all right? That is the first thing I would like to say. So when our brother Athamboy invited me, the first thing I realized was, oh, I think the fruit of running after those seminars has come now. I will be on stage finally. Likewise, I want you guys to take this stage some years or some days down the line, okay? So believe in yourself, you can do it. If that guy who happened to be like you can come up on stage and speak, you can also do it. Because I know that you have the zeal, I know that you're ready, all right? All right, before we come specifically to how to prepare, I want to talk about some philosophy. Some philosophy means an idea that we should possess in our mind. Okay. So the first thing, being an aspirant of civil services, the first thing we should have in our mind is we must have clarity of thoughts. You must know exactly what we want. As for instance, I would like to recite, I just want to cite one incident of my life. When I completed my metric exam, we had a big argument with my mother. My mother went to Manipur public school for admission in class 11. She did my admission in science stream. No, my son, you're good at studies, you should become a doctor. Okay, it was very appealing. It was a good idea, but what I had in my mind was civil services at that stage of my life. See the clarity of thought I had. So we bought everything, uniform, shoes, bags, books. Okay, everything was ready for science. And I lived in Homsai Bank, like you know, in a rented room, all alone. I took a school bus from Kumalampak. On this way from Kumalampak to Manipur Public School, Kurenje, I had a choice. Should I follow my mother's wish or should I follow mine? Okay. Till at the gate of the school, I was confused. Once I entered the school, let me go on my own. At least this is my life. So I disobeyed my mother's wishes. So I directly entered the principal room. Just think about it. At that stage of my life, I entered the principal's room. Okay, the principal was very busy because it was the first day of the session. But I waited him. I was standing just beside him. And he looked at me. And I looked at him. Sir, I don't want to study science. Let me go to arts. Okay, he called one of his assistants. Look after this boy. And the assistant checked all the records. I was admitted in science stream. You cannot do this, he said. No, let me again talk to the principal. And I went to the principal, sir, it is the choice of my mother. My choice is art stream. He looked at me like this. He was very busy, he was angry also. Okay, do whatever you want. Instructed the guy. So the guy took me to arts room, he let me sit there. But they did not change the record, thinking that I might change my mind in the course of time. Because they didn't have that sort of experience before. So after 1 week, my name was not called. Okay. And a guy from science stream, during the recess, we happened to talk because he also belonged to the community. Classroom hit home. I didn't have anything to tell him, but in my mind, you guys are different from me. I was thinking, all right, this is my own world. And after a week, I again went to the principal. Now, it's not about a request. Now earlier on the first day, he was the one who was angry, but that day I was the one angry. So I already told you I will be in art, but my name is not called. My name is always called in science classroom. What happened? I was complaining. Okay, he called that guy, that same guy again. Okay. Ibiro, moi asked Ibiro, without any formal procedure, I changed my stream like that. Because I chose to become civil servant. You must have clarity of thoughts. If you want something, you have to prove that you want it. I already, before even coming here today, before even the declaration of this MPSC result, I already won a battle after my 10th, alright? So I want you guys to have the same spirit by having this very, very clear clarity of thought in your life, okay? Alright, secondly, being an aspirant of civil servant, you must be able to feel the pain of others. If you cannot feel this, don't come, because it won't be suitable for you. The system will not be suitable for you, and you may not be a good civil servant. A civil servant must be someone who could feel the pain of others, right? Who could feel the sorrow of others without even talking to those persons. So, think about it. Question yourself if you're suitable, if you really feel the pain of others, if you can feel the burden of others, then only please come towards this field of service. Otherwise, I'm telling you, don't come. Right? Only if you're willing to help others, work hard and make it. Alright? Become a civil servant. But as I said, there are many, maybe I'm still not experienced and I'm still not into the system. That's why maybe I said whatever I like, but as of now, I feel that I can make a difference because I can feel the pain of others. So likewise, please take a very good decision, think about it, question yourself, analyze about yourself. If you can feel the pain of others, then civil services will be a very good profession for you. Let me also cite another example of my life that I remember. In New Delhi, with a couple of my friends, we were in a park, and in that park there was a couple, a husband and wife. They belonged to Chirochandpur. By looking at them, they were so distressed. Everyone, those my young people were looking at them like this. And the way how they behaved was very strange. They looked so distressed. So I looked at them and I started approaching them. When I talked to them, the wife happened to be speaking in Mizo language, and the husband was speaking in Thadu language. So they were, when we went along with my friends, we asked about their situation. They said that the landlord chased them away. Okay. So at that moment, it was very difficult. We were students. We didn't have any sort of resources to help others. But we had a choice, a difficult choice about what to do. About with those people. So at that moment, I realized that as I cannot do anything about them, as I cannot help them with any resources, I call up people in authority. I call up the leaders of OK Students organizations. I told them about their problem. After a few hours, people from KSO came. They managed to get them back home. All right? I don't know if those people will still remember that it was our help through which they could reach home, but it was we who took those initiatives and they arranged for their return home. So those are the things that needs initiative from us, right? It needs some sort of empathy from our side that makes a difference for people's life. I want you guys to have those kind of being able to feel the pain of others. When people are in distress, you must be ready to help. Okay. So, thirdly, I've been saying this to my students in my school. Suppose we live on our own. If we think for ourselves, then the kind of work, the kind of work that we take is very limited. But when we think for others, when you want to make your life meaningful for others, for your village, for your society, for others, then it requires you to do double work or triple work. I want you guys to have that sort of idea in your mind. So once you possess this idea, a very strong idea, this will push you. Because if it is only for myself, a bank clerk is sufficient, right? Right? But if you pursue civil services, which means you want to do something more, right? Then ultimately you have to work harder than others. So have this kind of idea in your mind that it is not sufficient. Enough I void the ungel ngay na. Si pat lesson. Di bo boy hin dinga igel le. Ndan so low the hose on the follow so na. I mean farmers also, they are very prosperous, right? These days. Because there are many schemes besides their farm income. There are other schemes from government. It is enough to live. I love. We really have to work hard. Hard work in the thing also. Igel ha masa ngay na. Tabang to kasi ho thungjo duni nang ho koma ka share nom sa ka hung ahin. Ka wal pan in ko sa ayang chu ahinain isang le. Na ho koma cha thungjo kasi nom sa hung ka in ka kipain. Nó họ là thất động đàn hầu ngày nôm đàn hầu anh gẹn lẹ thế xảy thêm cái tàu cái tiền ai bị lẹ tôi nhìn thấy gì chân thêm mình cái là tàu cái tiền anh chỉ biết là ngày bên nào tôi xe mi không eo sâu sâu lẹ mi là ngày nôm là không biết tiền tôi nhìn nó chết rất là ngày rồi lẹ cái là thêm cái tay tiền okay, let us come on the real topic, how to prepare for civil services. Ma'am Teresa have also spoken a lot on this. UPSC zong experience tam ta ne na, NPSC zong rank nasata ta musa hi, sama hi eho say usanga nasata ta say do hi tain. I feel like let me also share some from my side besides what Ma'am Teresa has said. Let us talk about the importance of note making. Okay. Results it is the fruit of my note making. Okay. We had roughly around 3 months to prepare for the mains. I was running a school, I was running a boarding, I was running everything. I cannot quit that because it was established by me. It was me who founded those things. I mean, I cannot quit those jobs. I had to look after it. At the same time, I had to prepare these means. So I was very tense also because as I was under so much pressure. My optionals were education and political science. So education is new to me. Although I had written once in 2016, still I was not comfortable with the subject. I left. Political science, I did up to my master's, and even I am still pursuing my PhD from Tribal University. Political science is not that new, but when we come to civil services means it is totally different. Okay. Cepat tinggal diajen education to has masing ngai. When I look into those old notes, I don't need 2016 Kichayahi Delhi Akatsi. Athabi Asubraranjan notes for him, market, Asubraranjan political science notes. Everything in the market. I collected it and I began to study. Okay, I studied so hard, and after studying, I was thinking I should make notes. Till then, I didn't have this zeal for making notes at all. I love notes same day ki I like notes to political science subject. If you go by the syllabus of MPSC or UPSC, and if you gather the required sources or materials, it will be this much. Okay, this much of books you will not be able to study during the exam. Okay, so several notes. I began to make notes. Okay, I kept in micro notes. One topic, one page. Right. I happen to keep like that. So, mains 2016 re-exam when I study, I was able to complete the whole political science syllabus in 2 days. Okay, in 2 days, I was able to complete my political science syllabus. So, I let all the other available time and days I spend on education. That makes the difference. Okay, so that is the importance of making notes. Today, I would like to tell you that it is because of my notes, it is because of my micro notes on political science that makes me stand here. Okay, so I want you guys to follow the same. Okay, secondly, writing skill. Writing skill is very important. Without writing skill, you will never clear the mains. Although prelims you will be able to clear, but mains it is not possible for you to clear mains without having the requisite writing skill. Okay, let's talk about how you can improve it. Okay. After 12, I went to Delhi University. Now the level of writing becomes very, very different. Till 12, it was you mark up the question and answer provided by your teachers and write in the exam. But in the college, at the college level, those things was no more happening. You really have to write on your own. So, on our first test, I got out of 20, I was getting around 3 or 4. So, my professor, very old professor, that professor used to check means UPSC mains answer sheet. She called me along with a South Korean guy. That South Korean guy did not know any English, so he got 0. Although I knew a little bit of English, still I got 3 or 4. So she invited us to her office. She gave us tea. We were very happy, but we opened up our answer script. This is not happening. If you continue like this, you will not be able to complete your BA. This is what she told me. On my first class test, okay, in college, that was my experience. See, so I was very, restless. If my professor told me like this, I think something is wrong. So I did not go to anybody for advice. What I did was, I bought alarm clock. I timed this alarm clock and I fixed 5 minutes, okay, from the next day. My target was, within this 5 minutes, I must be able to write one page of anything, okay. So, in my initial attempts, I was not able to complete, I was not even able to write half of the page within 5 minutes. I did that for how many months? 3 months. Alright. Whatever comes to my mind, I will make that as a topic and I will start writing for 5 minutes. After 3 months, I was able to complete. Okay. And after 10 months, we wrote our final in college. I came in top rank in my college. Alright. So writing skill is not given in nature. We have to earn it, just like I have earned it. Alright? After that experience, I never had writing skill anymore. See, Brother Kamboy said, give him one topic, he can write without any difficulties. He did not know my struggle. I struggle a lot, right? It cost me a lot. I had to buy alarm clock also. So those things were not told before. But it should be known that it takes a lot of struggle to master some skills. Okay? So if you want to improve your writing skill, start buying alarm clock. And, start writing. Okay? So you can do it. If a guy who was called up by a professor because he was writing so badly could become the 3rd rank of the college, you can also do it. Right? And apart from writing skill, sources of the materials that you gather is also another critical factor. Like Ma'am Teresa said, don't be a book collector. I never like books. Many people in their hobbies, you keep reading. I never keep reading because I never like reading. I don't know how you guys will manage with books. I don't know how you will, how books are treating you, but books, I never like them. So choose them wisely, okay? But you have to choose. You have to take it. My advice with source is limited your source, but read it more. Okay. For example, in the polity, I read only Lakshmikant, but you have to read over and over again. You have to read a lot. Limited your collection, but read it more is my advice. Okay. And okay, that is all that I remember. It will be much more better for me if now I take questions, right? So if there is any questions or if there is any doubt, that to be clear, let me take some questions.
Question don't attend on one na. Question in the audio ke ho ni do chai kon le. Sai don de wa.
I think all the questions have been exhausted with Ma'am Teresa.
Ask the same question.
Would it be useful to refer to previous year questions of other state PSC, like Norris, like South?
Even if I say yes, and even if you agree to my answer, you will not do it. Okay, you won't do it because you won't have time, and it is not necessary also. Anything else?
Sir, what are your sources for Manipur with regards to Manipur history and geography?
There is one small booklet in Pauna Bazaar. Any publishers will be fine. That small booklet, Manipur GK 2023, if you buy, it will include geography, history, sport, everything. That was my source. Apart from when I was preparing for interview, I Googled Manipur and I studied all those information given in Wikipedia. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm leaving this stage.
Sir, means prima kikutata,
Yes, of course, because they are just the same. Now, for example, okay, sit down, please. Means the interview also kikut thate kikut thalo di kya kikut thawa hai na. Aji so isim thaga. For example, ho A ana chinom cho na. A ana chinom cho. Ale A bana chu B um cho. Na. B chinom chu A a cho cho ma ka chidam B de bong hai na to chu. Because alam pi ki bang cha in Kuhat na masat ding aban la kuban chu aban na lunge chodin na kuban na ding a chu kuban kuma sa na ding a chu lampi chu ka chi na chi da bang na at yam not necessary okay is it le fa na si bu chu ki bang cha in na a ki bang cha in a chung chung ma ka ki gun de ki chu it's not valid. It is just one and the same, just that a syllabus na vetting, a syllabus limit dung zo ya cha syllabus to framework, a syllabus to a framework ana nei ding to dung zo so prelim sa ki ko ding main sa ki ko de ki ko na ai le overlapping topic ho chu they are just one and the same na. Okay. Essay. Essay is all about, there are two ingredients in good essay. Na? Writing skill and knowledge. Critical mass of knowledge. Iti kharau min na. Kaloi ho to. Kaki prepare live as an tot na kanevin critical mass of knowledge. Knowledge to unlimited na thelo si ke hello ahin la civil service khat in great na thading to a level of knowledge, critical mass of knowledge ki le het dinga long phabet het lo wa he thelo omin na le kha syllabus wailan cover phan le hit chan ge he angai ti khum hit level chunan na hin te ngai le ka simtan na. It's level to know in part to walk on to facts like a lot of thing. Writing skills are quite important essays in a tip na ding also, you have to buy alarm. Okay, anyone else?
Sir, except macho topic itu.
Itu dihendam. Okay, essay topic itu dihendam. Nah, build on your interest. Essay ada momohi. Na interest feel kat kisah tau tu apa ni? Teacher environment hi kani interest na. Environment hi kani kilhanen. Environment to kisah topik mo kani kilhan ji environment mungzong hi kasim phat le. Ipaham thanom ta kasima. Essay ang kidoyong le. It's text commanding, it's line commanding, it's statement commanding. Alo le, it's report commanding dia hi kalungwai iti kuisay na. So, essay to question tam tahong ahin, environment to kisay hong pat le. It is ready. Na, it's okay mas ready si. Oh.
Prepare so much civil service ko na tema may lo le tum nong maintain.
Okay. Civil service book at temam adang yang at temam na. Itu til khat omin story khat na. Story khat omin the story jo kanin GP he na. Khat bia dedi ka chia chen advance Christmas pakai mon sao niจะฟูกใส่แหละในอันนุยซอมันไอ้ปีนั้นนั่นนุยซอของเดียวเดียวกาลขัดอันนี้มินกาลเที่ยวจู่ไอแลนด์เชียงมันนะอะไรเฮโร่หัวหินโอมาจิวนะไอเล่แคปตันปอจุนปูมุจู่ไอแลนด์อันนั้นว่าจุนฮัลไฮนะอะไรไอแลนด์ที่จะจู่อัโซโลเราหุ่นจอมเทเราอยู่จะแล้วนะและแคปตันปอเป็นอับบอลสเปรมเทเลยอิโซโลเลยทีอยู่นะ Our choice is to win. Is all over possibility dan poi. Kin his story apa nak kani lah ro sa. Civil service kamu lo le chikat samudang ni kan ikian na. Asan exam adang ho chu kapi wangin kapi jang kapi poi na. Ke bung yang ke bung ka poi. Civil services bo kamu lo le. Thing na pa bang ko sa tang ni dai. Ko kan man ni Anything else?
Cho don cái khát là ní bên độ bèm vô làm khát đến đó không? Khát là sẽ là gì em xịt chạy ta?
Okay. Okay. Answer writing will parle approach dan na. Approach pa hi think follow hin say na. Na ho ding applicable dam lo dam. For example, Ma'am Teresa, we were asked about fake news this time, no, in GS2. Fake news.
Fake news, I may not have written or something. I was very fond of other type of questions.
Okay, but it was asked, right?
It may have been, but I did not answer that.
Okay, okay. For example, fake news two kidomin na. Fake news two kidomin. If kasi am dile, I began my answer with what is fake news. Na. Ale, if you have fake news, kasi what is fake news? It was not asked directly, but na. I began my answer with the meaning of fake news. And again, after that, I wrote what are the ill effects of fake news. Nah, abana, what can be done to check fake news? I wrote like that. Okay, we must have a strategy. We must have a flow. Okay, so I wrote like that. So generally you open up your answer with the meaning of the topic being asked, and always keep in mind to mention the factors why this is happening. Now, the causes of certain events or certain phenomena, and don't forget to write as an aspiring civil servant. You must always come up with solution. After the causes, always, even if it is 1 or 2 points, mention solution or remedial measures. Now, and conclude with, we don't have much time, but just ensure that you are concluding your answer with 1-liner or 2-liners. Okay? That is how I wrote my answer. Okay.
Sir, nan kisima puna mungkin kehelo sir. Quality jo ini sunga na sim kai na sir. Siapa puna jo itu sunga tu kita itu jo puna na hiat ya mai lo le. Jangan by revise na boleh.
Well, tamta ka revise what so notes ka kisima ipana jo. Ka notes jo ka vet le. Like this. I was putting my leg across. See, what I'm trying to tell you is, notes, nếu cho ra hình kisim đó, nên ngã chú, phải tâm ta về cái sim sai nó ngã kisim. So it's not today you're buying a book and you're going to write notes, keeping it ready for exam. It's not like that. Okay. Well, a subject, a topic, so na hin het ta la ko. Na, nang mo het na thai ta nan kisi phat da kun. Na sim phat le sim hi yang jun nang ma na ji pat ta na ji ta yang nan dia da ding it will flow, the flow will come. Okay, it's not directly making notes and I remember, it's not like that. It was a note happened after a lot of reading, maybe 5 or 6 times, maybe 10 times reading.
After I want to say that, so
Topic ka het pha na no sa sim. Ajit chu tua ka het ma chu phanga no chu pha le exam hum di a chu. Ka ji lo lo le. Example le chun text ma kan tha pho ngai chu la na. Text e pho de pha le kila la chu. Example ki revise those ji lo chu na. I hin la na ma own written notes a hi le. It's not that difficult to revise. Very interesting to revise your own notes. Nah. I suppose we don't have optionals anymore in MPSC. So, but for UPSC, okay. Optional. A background subject to pen in Kagyarin na. What is your background subject?
Actually geography, but geography is, they say it's an ocean.
No, all the subjects are oceans. Geography to comparative and guilty na. Ay le to thao pe na ga ba di chu ke lum dia le hi le. Cái lùng dia là hi le to geography ha na sa banga chu subject khat go zong la ha nan sa ke te nan hiam nong ki dang ka tin na so subject zo chu ha zong le aki ki pan sa hi na. Maybe your half of your journey with geography is already done, so it's advisable to stick with your background subject.
Overall, question is static. Question is static. Tamam current moment is that person.
Static and current affairs, na?
Adam knowledge he own things na. Is that a constitute a question 100%?
Prelims or he prelims or the static will be around 85%. Okay. I mean generally, in prelims, it is more of conventional and static. But one thing we should keep in our mind is topic which come in the news, they might ask the basics also. Means current affair is converted into static also. Okay. So, but for prelims it is 80 to 85% is static, and another 15% roughly is purely current affairs. But there is no mechanism to segregate these two. It comes together. As I said, some current affair topic is also asked based on static, ask the basics. Okay, so always be mindful about this. Okay.
Current affairs to him static strategy.
Okay, okay. Today, one of the most popular topic in Manipur is reserve forest, right? It's current affairs, right? But when they ask, they might not ask, how many houses have been destroyed? They will not ask. They will ask the provisions, the Forest Act, or the procedure to create protected forest or reserve forest, or difference between protected forest and reserve forest. Can you relate now? Current affairs to static. This is how we should get, how we should prepare with this kind of questions. Okay.
Sir, current affairs here, say that's in
Okay. My strategy with current affairs was this. I selected the best newspaper. When I was in New Delhi, I read Shanghai Express. No. I read Indian Express because Indian Express was suitable for me because those authors in the editorial were political scientists mostly. Okay. So I used those authors in my optional. That's why I had chosen Indian Express. In Manipur, I read Shanghai Express. I read, for the exam point of view, I read only the front page, and I read, if it is Shanghai Express, I select the editorial page. If it is my favorite, if it is only my, I read articles of my favorite authors. If others, I don't read. I read the international page because in my political science optional, there is IR. That is how I use newspaper. Now, the front page, the editorial of my favorite authors, and international page. That is it in newspaper. And besides this newspaper, I read Vision IAS monthly magazine. They have ready-made notes on current affairs. So I read. This is how I deal with current affairs.
Sir, going through previous year's questions of MPSC prelims, I think a good portion of the questions are from science.
Okay.
And there are some questions like chemical reactions and all, and what is the result. So for that, is NCRT enough, like for humanities students, or do we consult like other standard books like Syllabus and GK and all? Do we need to consult that?
You're from arts background? Okay. I remember those NPS days. about the struggle between science and arts, right? NCRT science, I read only up to class 8, and I am able to clear the MPSC. So this means it is okay to refer more books, but if you're not able to refer, if you're not able to read, it is not a limiting factor. So you can still manage, you can still do it. But it is advisable to have multiple sources. If you read tuition, of course you will get more marks. Okay, shall we wind up this?
Last question. Sir, what are your thoughts with regard to answers related to numbers? Like, will it come again in the upcoming ones? Like, for instance, Indo-Myanmar border was asked the length of those type of.
The length.
Yes.
Okay, it was asked this before.
Yes. If I'm not wrong, Indo-Manipur. Sorry. Manipur and Myanmar.
Border.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Don't go after these facts. Nah. Of course, one or two facts, and very surprising facts, might come in the exam, but it's not worth going after it. Just go with the, broader. Nah. Just go with broader subjects. Don't run after these specific things. No. One or two questions may come, but it will not limit your chances. It's not, no need to worry about those very surprising questions. Okay? Because there are other 98 questions that you can attempt.
Yeah. Writing in a practice and about daily and weekly and
Daily, every morning. Once I wake up, I started writing. I started my alarm and start writing. Yes. It's daily basis. I wrote for 3 months. After 3 months, I began to become very comfortable with writing.
Sir, interview like prepared and say.
Interview preparation. Okay, let's do like this. I make 3 headings. The first heading is about myself, everything about me, school, college, what I'm doing right now, my hobbies, my optionals. In another heading, I write Manipur. Okay, Manipur. Everything about Manipur. Not everything, whatever I can study about Manipur. And in another heading, I write India, whatever is in the national news. And since my optional is political science and IR is part of IR, political science, I write international. So based on these 4 headings, I prepare my interview. Everything that they ask come under these 4 headings.
A question type na opinion type kaya do no receive descriptive type
Question type in interview or mains or mains. It is a mix, but descriptive type is more. Now, opinion, of course, you will have space for you to put up your opinion even in a descriptive type, but descriptive type should be the main frame of preparation. Okay? Opinion, you will have your opinion on the spot. Don't worry about your opinion. You will have a good opinion will come out when you write. Shall we wind up? Thank you so much With this, I wind up my session, and thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Mandatory science here. Mani matam tak ay lo na punya program jawab kita kita tinggal pada tahun na. So ni tin polo tu personal akan mungkin orang nanti. Ang tahun akan mancai tu cha di office lana tu classroom lana tu cha pam lang au di na layak tai tim oleh first floor lana tu no man di cai ho convenient tu si tan tin na dunia macam cha ikut nama main speaker teni atau kejar kailah kita pun cile nanti ho lai te ba namo rin itu yang kan kemang cawin sedikit tane acai na penin songpi media partner jangan levin cile itu bayang cekoi ni hen lewat channel lah cakap ni ambo cuma akibat tu isewin dunia tu ayo jauh le tu phone ham na anytime any channel lah tu theo hin mem nu lang hilaya ani sia class la in except Sunday ya so itu kasih ni mo pinta na okay selom adang na lewang na ako na donom ne ho abon cha do long le ke mu pi wa le chu hin ten open classroom ma ni chan chai ta na okay cha yong don di sivin pat ke ho chai na khat mo ka se mo na Depan kita oleh dalam Manipur tu ni program semca tu manawa nang mau pina kasang bikin speaker teni resource person then hinaman patay na buin experience on wale jadi mabana exam ading anaw di hoti ko na hohin sikit tale pa itsun question sa lolang tahin bolobin dahil kita ite akong tajibin ng lobikan tawa na try kapatid apa Ma'am Teresahin sa Samuelin apa Opi fidal hong hong ikan salvisan bono na apa ite sudah government moya na to na ba apa tiatsu patsum na ilo le gam sunga dia kanto na machal na na hin to na tiatsu kapatin ta sa ndam na pi na naman atake cha retire chan di na na to ho ya so hindi handa din ka taw ni kai kapatin na te ho chi kong ha naman patay ko no mabana ele kasi na sinatit na napiwa lo tinatay din ng kataw kita na hi tunya katon dio chatui zon ng man sa tinga patay din din ko hin po kapag kayo sa Kristo ng kataw amen thank you